And here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, three brothers in a shot of milk. What's up? It's your boy Chris. Below me is my light skinned brother Rich. To the right of me is my white skinned brother Jack. And we're missing Lawrence, but he'll be back every once in a while. So we're talking about comic books, TVs, movies, anime, toys, adult Legos, and more.
Adult Legos, my God.
Adult Lego. We love the adult Legos. So, fellas, before we get started, how was your week? What are you watching? What are you playing? What are you doing with your lives?
Can I tell you what I did with my life this week?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Let us know. We want to know. We're a family here.
I committed to yeah, okay. All right. So let me tell you what I did. I committed to riding my bike. I'll say commuting. We're adults. I commuted to work this week via bicycle.
Okay.
Right.
My work is a little over 10 miles away. I had clocked in over 100 miles on my bike.
Well, damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like how
and,
commuting is the adult way of saying go bike riding. Go bike.
I went on a lot of bike riding this week. And I was expecting to step on the scale and see it go down, but it actually went up.
Gain the muscles.
Yeah, that dense muscle mass, Jack.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can look at it, right?
That's the only way you can look
muscle-
at it.
What those calves look like? What those calves look like?
What those calves do, baby?
They're looking like I didn't skip leg day.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
The only other thing worth noting, and I guess it's not really content adjacent, I went and I saw what's the guy's name? He played the main villain in the third Guardians of the Galaxy film.
The
You know the
third
dude I'm talking about?
Guardians.
Oh, the black dude.
The black dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? The mastermind? No, not the mastermind.
Yeah. He had the face stretched over his face.
Yeah, the creator.
Yeah. The creator guy. He's in a adaptation of Cyrano de Bergerac in LA right now, and I saw that live in the theater. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely an adaptation. I'll say that. If you don't know, Cyrano de Bergerac, it was a play written in the 1800s. You've probably seen the movie Roxanne with Steve Martin.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Roxanne was a modern adaptation of this play, Cyrano de Bergerac. Basically about a guy who's got a humongous nose. He's a poet. He's a swashbuckler, brave dude, fight anybody, wicked intelligent, and he's in love with this girl. But the girl, but he's ugly. He's ugly, so he's got this inferiority complex about him. Thinks he's not enough.
So Seal?
I can't Seal bag Heidi Klum, and Heidi Klum is still banging today.
Well, so basically, the backstory of that is he basically becomes the voice of a really attractive guy who the girl has feelings for. So he feeds this guy with all the poetry, all the words, so he can win the girl's heart over.
Are we describing Shakespeare? Like what?
It's not Shakespeare. It's a few hundred years off of that, but it is, like I said, it's written in the 1800s.
Didn't Peter Dinklage just come out with this movie?
Yes, there was an adaptation of it a year ago, last year or the year before, where they changed it from being a dude with a big nose to just being Peter Dinklage, who's a dwarf, and that being the thing that makes him ugly, which actually I thought worked really well for the adaptation. And Peter Dinklage is a beast of an actor. Yeah. So I enjoyed the play, but I did have some gripes with the way they adapted the story and the script a little bit. I'm a traditionalist. I was really hoping to see some of the more traditional language for the piece. It's originally written in French, so any English version we're seeing is an adaptation anyway, but they definitely took some liberties with this one. But I enjoyed it. So that was my week. I rode my bike and I watched the play.
Good culture and bike riding. Good for you, Jack.
Yeah. Look at that.
Before you go, Rich, let's hit the comments because everyone wants to say hello, and we're live. We're a little bit late, but technical difficulty, but we're here, etc. Desiree, what
We
up?
are live.
Etc. The calves look like little calves because they're huge and plump. Well, his calves are getting there, putting in work. Pop Johnson, what up, Pop Johnson?
What's going on?
And Geek Fusion says we're talking about Roxanne with Steve Martin. Yes, we are. Well,
that's what we should be talking about.
We were. I don't know.
Yo, Roxanne with Steve Martin
is a classic.
Yeah, I think I watched it.
But it's a classic based off a classic.
So, Rich, what about you? What'd you do this week?
Oh, hey, thanks for checking in. My week has been all right. I haven't done anything really. I just going to work. Watched Fear of the Walking Dead, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Be honest, Rich.
A lot of that was garbage. And I'm still stuck on as much as I am a zombie fan of the genre. Like, how many times are we going to watch you walk out into the middle of the open and then all of a sudden get jump scared by a zombie that walks at a crawl? Like, what are we doing? Like, how many times? But you know what? I'm committed to the thing.
Right.
So, and there was some storylines that just didn't need, like Al. I don't know if y'all watched Fear of the Walking Dead. You probably didn't, but Al's whole shtick, she should have died a long time ago. I'll be honest with you. Started Gundam Seed, which is on Netflix right now. It's anime, Gundam anime, obviously, and you know it's Gundaming like it's supposed to. Sorry, I'm only a couple episodes in, and
you got back to the Rick and Morty?
No, I don't ever plan to go back to that.
I couldn't get to the first episode.
I gotta keep asking.
Yeah, no, it's no. And that is about it. Been looking around trying to sell this ring, and I'll tell you, went to the jewelry store. This dude came in. Mind you, I got the GIA. We're talking adult stuff right now. I'm sorry.
Grown up stuff.
I got the GIA certification number and everything like that. I lost the original paperwork, but you can log in and see everything, right? So I go to one of my local jewelry stores, and he's going through it. Like, I'm there 20 minutes. He's doing calculations. He's got it under the microscope. He's on the computer. He's like, yeah, I can give you $1,500 for it. I'm like, I literally started laughing. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Thank you. You have a good one, sir.
He smells desperation. He's trying to take advantage of you. That's what it was.
I am not that desperate. I'm desperate, but not that desperate. Like, no way.
What is it?
It was appraised at 11.
Damn.
Yeah, 11,000. Yeah, 11.2.
I was like, crazy.
I'm like, the diamond alone was like $6,000, bro. Come on, we talking about. But I didn't say all that. I was very calm. I was calm the whole time. I was just chilling. And he was like, 1,500. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And I started looking at some watches before I left because he had some watches I left. I'm like, oh. He was like, oh, I'll do some trades for you. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you would.
If you get a Rolex, you get a good deal on Rolex.
He didn't have no Rolexes there.
Not 11 grand. 11 grand
nah,
worth
you
of
could do like a date
Rolexes.
just for like.
And it's a pawn shop. There's no telling what you're buying.
You could do like a date just in a Jubilee band for like $5,000.
Yeah.
Two-tone. I know because I'm shopping for one right now.
Oh, big dogs.
Have you checked out the Netflix anime, the Ragnarok?
Oh yeah, I did
thing?
check that out, man. Well, yeah, it's
all right. Is that good?
It's all right.
What does that mean?
It gets a little wild because what it is, it's they're fight. You pretty much get like religious figures throughout history. And they fight each other for the end of the world, and pretty much they're fighting to save the world. So you got the God side, and then you got the human side, and you got like strong like Adam from Adam and Eve, right? He's fighting for humans, right? And he's fighting. I forgot who he's fighting. And then you got Gandhi. Was it Gandhi? No, it wasn't Gandhi. It was Buddha. Buddha also fights for the human side because he's
mad sacrilegious. This whole show.
You know, you got Zeus in there. You got. Did they have Jesus? No, I don't think they went that far.
I hope they did. I hope they did not.
Well, yeah, they had some religious figures in there. They had some heroes. Not heroes. Some actual figures. Actual real life figures for fighting for the human side and everything like that. They had Jack the Ripper. He
What?
was fighting for the humans, which was wild. I'm like, wait a second, he was a whole killer.
Is it is there a good story
I mean,
behind it,
it's
or
just it's like
what
it's a
is?
tournament. It's a tournament. Then they're fighting for the right of humans. All right. The weapons that the weapons
So it's like
in order
moral.
to kind of even it out, the weapons that they use are like living weapons. They are Valkyries. They turn into they're walking around as people, but they turn into living weapons to kind of give the humans an advantage over the gods.
It's kind of like biblical Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
a little bit biblical, like more religious e.
It's sacrilegious Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, sacrilegious Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Wait, is it a checkout though? Someone had
Yeah,
recommended it, and
I
I
mean, check
figured
it. There's
like
I mean, there's a decent little story in there. You kind of get backstories on the characters. They delve into them a bit. You get little backstories into the weapons, the Valkyries, and you get all the things that you get in the anime: fighting, action, a little bit of drama, and jiggly boobs. There's one character in there. Literally, she's surrounded by men, and like anyway, you should go check it out.
Yeah, stuff doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. You know how I feel about anime. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
And how was your
Good.
week,
But
Chris?
before we go about my week, GQ says we're talking about Roxanne with Steve Martin. Yep, we were. Kai Alaska says, what up?
What's going on?
C23 says, I am here too. I was hoping you'd be here.
I hear you too.
Two.
The Man with Two Brains with Steve Martin was hilarious.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead was only good when Morgan and John Dory were both on the show. That's probably the early. I saw the first season and second season. It was pretty good. After that, I don't know.
Be honest with you, I love John Dory. Morgan started getting on my nerves. I'm like, man, he was giving too many people chances. And like a lot of people died because of Morgan. I'm like, listen, you should have killed off that person because that person killed off a lot of people over on this side. Again, I'm all over the place with it, but I'm still here for the ride. All right.
Geek Fusion asks, was Muhammad in there? Yeah, that's mad sacrilegious.
Was Muhammad in there?
I hope not, because yeah, they don't.
I don't think there was any Muslim figures in there.
Yeah, probably not. These are stray. But yeah,
throwing
right.
fists.
But
Fisticuffs.
my week was good. So I'm going through the same loss as Jack right now. My comic book store closed, so I'm trying. Finding a new comic book store is like finding a new barber. You just gotta find the one that like you kind of gel with, has what you want. So I'm trying out this new spot, Comics, Games, and More in Denton, which is not that far. I forgot which one of you guys are from Texas, but if you guys are from Denton, let me know if you guys go there. I copped this Duke. So it's Duke from G.I. Joe, but it's right. So it's kind of right before the Transformer crossover happens. So Duke is this like, he's Duke. He's like this amazing super soldier guy, and he becomes disenchanted with the government because he sees his friend dies. His friend dies in an accident because due to a Transformer, and the Transformers are still a secret. And he's like, "You guys are lying to me. What is it?" He becomes kind of like a conspiracy theorist, and he's on a hunt to find the truth. So that's pretty good. I got more Sons of Anarchy because I'm actually really digging Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
And then I got this.
So the G.I. Joe Duke is in the Transformer world. They're all meshing them up.
Yeah. It's a whole crossover that Image is doing. So Duke is a standalone story just about Duke, and then they have one with Cobra Commander. They have a couple, and then they have the actual storyline that begins. But they have these one-offs where it kind of takes it from their point of view and how they got involved in like what's going on. And then I got Joker Year One. And then I got 2 comics. What did I buy? I bought Wolverine #1, A New Beginning.
That's pretty cool.
And then I got what we're talking about. What if Donald Duck became Wolverine?
Oh, all right.
That's what's up.
So I thought it was cool. So there were 3 covers to choose from. But this cover was one of the more iconic covers. So I was like, let me get that.
He's just roasting marshmallows on his claws.
But yeah, so I think this may be my comic book store. I think I'm digging it. I'm liking what they have. The people there are super helpful. They want to put me on a list for new stuff coming out, and they have a good selection. They got good toys, so it's a little bit far, but it's closer than the other one. So I don't know. We'll see. It may be my new home comic book store. We'll see.
Let me ask you guys: are you
get a
going to
discount for being on the list?
What? Discount to be on the list?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that far. I don't read anything. I don't read anything that faithful to be on the list.
Usually,
I just wait.
If you're on a pull list for a shop, they usually give you a discount for being
that's good to know.
A repeat customer.
I'll find out.
Are you guys going to be looking at Absolute Batman or getting the Absolute Batman?
Oh man, they were going so crazy about the art and how terrible and weird he looked. And they were pushing. I'm
kind of digging it.
I mean, I'll check it out.
Image you can show?
Yeah, I'll find it right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at one right now.
You want to share your screen, brother? Share your screen.
Not big enough. I'm kind of digging it.
So they were going. They said who I forgot who was creating the Absolute Batman, but they said the more hate they get, the bigger his bat logo gets.
Yeah.
What is wrong with his legs? He's what's wrong with his legs in that photo?
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
He's all.
He's in like MC
You're looking
Hammer
at the
pant.
Absolute Batman. No, that's part of his cape right there. All that is his cape. His cape is functional. It can straighten out. It can become a hard and stuff like that. It can help him glide, help him create impact. He's Batman without the gadgets, pretty much. He's a regular guy. He's like a Gotham City planner or something like that. He's not rich, so everything has is like practical. He doesn't have the money to back him, so he kind of makes everything on his own.
Shouldn't it just be called Absolute Adaptation of Batman then?
Stop hating, man.
It's Scott Snyder that wrote it.
He doesn't have an Alfred. It's just him by himself doing it.
So it's absolutely nothing that's recognizable of Batman other than
it's like it's Elseworlds story.
Yeah.
But,
so why are they calling it Absolute?
Because it's in the. Isn't there like an absolute world right now? Aren't there like absolute characters?
Oh, yeah.
You guys should know. You the comic book guys.
Okay. Why does it say epic?
Because people hate it. People are hating it left and right all over the internet.
That seems like clickbait. Yo, we should come up with like more trendy titles for our stuff.
We should.
First of all. Hey, Rich.
What is he hitting people with? A giant bat hammer?
I think that's what that is. Looks like it. Hammer axe-ish thing.
I mean, that's practical.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, you're the Batman guy. What are you?
Look, I'm okay with as long as it's an Elseworld story. I got no problem with it. I'll read it. I'll check it out. But
you can't read it.
How do you think Batman would fare if the Venom symbiote attached to him?
He'd be great.
Awesome, Jack. That would be freaking.
Like, would that be like the mashup of?
I would be all about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he would be just like, just all over it, bro.
All right, let's keep it moving. Hold on, and etc. says, did any of you guys pick up the Superman 78, the Metal Curtain? It was a short series of 6 issues. He's missing issue 6. I know Lawrence read it. Did you read Superman 78, Jack?
Yeah, I got them. I got a bunch of really cool covers too. I got various covers for some of the issues. Like the oh man, it's not in here. I'll pull it up next. I'll bring it back next episode. Actually, I won't be here next week, but I'll bring it the week following. I got the homage cover for the Jim Lee cover where Superman's doing this pose for the Superman 78, and it's great. It looks great. Like that pose is meant for Christopher Reeves.
Nope. Shall we keep it moving, fellas?
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep pushing. Since it's a Chris show, we're gonna go to our robot overlords and ask them a question. Alexa, tell me a joke about.
What do minions dress as for Halloween.
What?
Wow.
Eh.
So
All right.
Weird.
Or at home. Then on time.
Wow.
Was that even
Alexa, stop. Alexa just injected a commercial for Despicable Me 4. It's not what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Alexa, tell me a joke about the Hulk.
How many Avengers does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but in the process, you're going to lose the house.
Oh, man. You don't even try anymore, Alexa.
how many gingers?
How many Avengers? How
What did
many
she say?
Avengers?
Well, Avenger. I thought she said gingers.
No, but
Fir-
gingers
How
first
many
of all,
gingers do you need?
we need to be talking about how Alexa was like, "No, I'm gonna give you the joke that I want to give you and an advertisement. This is what you want.
Exactly.
Consume."
Did you notice how quickly she jumped on?
Yeah.
Like he didn't even finish asking for a joke, and she was
Yeah.
midway through a
I don't
joke.
know. She made AI is becoming.
Are we getting views for her listening to our
You
show?
should. I just like it that it activates everyone else's Alexa.
Do you have her controlling your lights and your door locks?
Everything, lights, door locks.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "No, you're not going outside today. You're gonna sit down and consume."
Yep.
Didn't they just
Like
make that movie?
thermostat.
What was it
Is that
called?
like Hal from like yeah?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What's the movie? What was his name? From Harold and Kumar. He was in. Yeah.
Right. It just came out.
All right. Where do we go now?
I don't know. I'll give you this. I'll help you out. Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Rich.
It's show and
Whoa,
tell
before
time.
we can't just get there without taking the journey, Jack. We gotta go down the street, run the red light, go through the alley, and then we get to the collector's corner.
Show and
Here at the
tell
collector's corner, we
time.
pull stuff from our collection, from our past, from our future, from our present, to show you what we're collecting. Gentlemen, what you got? What are you showing? What is the deal?
All right, I'll go
Talk amongst yourselves.
Since I'll tell you what was so interesting about yesterday. Like I said, I saw Cyrano de Bergerac. On the way there, we pit stopped at an antique shopping mall, and I'm roaming through the antique shopping mall looking at cool stuff, and I see this comic book, and it's a Cyrano de Bergerac comic book.
How appropriate.
Okay.
And it was like so arbitrary. It was just so arbitrary. It was mixed in the middle of like X-Men and Superman and Batman comic books, and then this one weird classics illustrated Cyrano de Bergerac comic book. So I picked it up, and you know what? It is the entire play. It's the entire play in about 30 illustrated pages. I want to say.
Well, that's pretty boring.
Like they condensed this stuff. They really condensed the whole thing. And then I deep dived. I was so interested in this when I got home and I was kind of thumbing through it. I was like, this is a really cool thing. I actually really liked it. And so I was like, I wonder what other plays or literature they made. So this comic book run came out in the 50s.
Oh shoot, that's kind of cool.
So from the 1950s, they started adapting all these plays and books and stuff. And there's tons, man. There's like Sherlock Holmes, Last of the Mohicans. The list just goes on and on and on. Romeo and Juliet. So they got some plays. They got a ton of books that they just condensed the entire contents down to this. So you guys out there that are trying to read some of these long-winded books or something for your class and want a shortcut, just go find these 1950s comic books. They're surprisingly cheap online, so I think I'm going to have a whole stack of these before the month's up.
Nice. That's kind of cool.
That's my show and tell.
All right. You showing your dog?
No, she's just being obstinate, not listening. So here she is.
She's
wants love.
kissing your face. That's kind of a friendly thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't mean
She
she's
wants some
listening.
love. That's true too. Yeah, you gotta nip that in the bud. I'm gonna show you something that I unboxed. I don't think I showed you guys the thing after I unboxed it. So hold on, give me a minute.
Sorry, Jack, I didn't make you big. I apologize.
Oh, buddy.
That's all right.
Okay. First of all, actually, no. I'm gonna show you this too. Show you my artistic side.
Damn.
All right, check me out.
Let me see what you got.
I might have showed this already, but you know, did a little homemade paint and sip at some of the people's houses, and you know they had us make this little thing, little birds on the thing.
Look
I'm
at
like,
you,
yeah,
that culture and stuff.
I
Nice.
could paint. I could paint. You know what I'm saying?
That's like really
Yeah,
nice, Rich.
Give me a little paint.
Were you looking at something and copying it, or is that just coming from
Yeah,
you?
they gave us an example, and we all try to like gave our best rendition of that example.
Dope.
So okay, but my Lexington, I pulled him out the
very cool.
box. I got an unboxing of it like a while ago.
Yeah, that figure
Check it
looks
out.
fire.
Yo, the controller, because he had like a little remote
Why
control.
does this
Jimmy.
guy remind me of my little brother? You see that figure?
Because he's bald headed and buggy eyed. I don't know. What little wiry.
He looks like Mac from. He looks
He's
like
also
Mac
ripped.
from Mac and Me.
Yeah.
He's ripped like Brad Pitt
Yeah,
from Fight
he
Club.
is ripped. The wings are pretty dope. They're flexible, so you can get that little mold in there. The little the positions that you want. I think it's coming out the back. But yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty cool looking figure. He got his headset which comes off. He comes with a crossbow as well with like some arrows, like really small or bolts, I should say. Excuse me, really small bolts that go into the crossbow. They don't shoot out, which is a good thing because you'll be losing those things all over the place.
Yeah.
But this dude's pretty dope.
Yeah, that sculpt is fire. That's NECA, right?
Yeah, NECA.
Yeah, that's why.
Got a little fabricy. We're not gonna
NECA's
pull
doing
that up.
right.
We ain't got to worry about it. Don't worry. Listen, I'm not like you and Lawrence out there just messing with people's junks and butts.
Inspecting
butts. But yeah, he's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Got him on the shelf there with the rest of them. With his controller, he doesn't have anything to control, but it's cool. And it stays in his hand pretty firm so far.
That's a great looking figure. That's a great looking figure.
Those NECA gargoyle figures are the one line that I wish I'd committed to, but I didn't get the Goliath right off the bat, so I ended up not getting any of the figures.
That Goliath, man,
they look so good, man.
Does look good.
He look good up there. Y'all can't see him, but
I see
I got him here. I got him with the cape. Oh, yeah, you got
Montoya. What's his name?
Montoya, and then what's in it, and the big baddie, Xanatos. He's right there. He keeps falling down in the middle of the night. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's up to no good.
Sometimes the knee joints are weak, and it makes him fall.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
the knee or the ankle joints.
Yo, Jack, you should get. Let me show you this Goliath, man. Hold on.
Let's take it, Rich. Let's see. Okay, go lay down. You got your moment of fame.
You got your moment of fame.
He's a little dusty, so never mind that. But look at this guy. Look at this guy. And that's the calm
Look
face.
how good this guy looks.
And that's the cape.
Those NECA figures are fire.
I mean, look at this guy, man. Pretty dope. Pretty dope stuff.
Yeah, these NECA figures, and whole new slew of toys this year. All these toys companies are about to unleash some of the best figures I think we've ever had in our lifetime.
So I texted you guys. Have you guys heard of Best Action?
Good. What do you say?
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Best Action? So I saw that.
Is it related to Last Action?
No, I saw that in Raw. So they have the licensing for Ninja Turtle figures with 32 points of articulation. So I don't know if anyone's
where are they putting all the articulation?
I don't know. Probably finger joints, wrist joints, joints we don't need.
Finger.
Probably double jointed torso, etc. You're a toy guy. Have you heard of them? It's spelled BST, Best, and Action AXN. Best Action. I saw it in Target too. Another line from Target too. But yeah, it's the first time I've seen it. I never saw it before.
Wait, I saw a whole slew of really cool Ninja Turtles in Target recently.
Is
that who's doing the new line?
It could be NECA's doing them too. Sorry, Rich. It's my time to shut. Yeah, I mean, they have NECA, they have the regular ones, but the Best Action, I don't know where they fall in. So I'll show you what I copped.
Are they doing like I saw a Baxter, which actually be pretty appropriate for your affirmative action line. He looked good.
It would be. It's growing. So Let me go back to before I start. Let me go back to the comments. That'll be a fun crossover talking about Venom and Batman. It'll be awesome. LOL, Kenny Alaska.
Yes.
we could ask AI to make a logo. That'd be dope. What? Not here next week? So weird.
I know.
I she also thought that Alexa said gingers as well. Cute puppy, thank you, Roxy. She thinks you're cute. So cool, Rich. She loves it. ETC says nice find, Jack. Cool figure, Rich. Let me jump back. And I haven't run across it, but he'll keep the lookout. Yeah, let me know what you think, etc. I'm seeing it in the stores here. I had to get remembrance of one of the greatest voice actors of our time. May he rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Yep, we'll talk about that when it comes to the news. And let me show what I got. So I'm back to printing. So I'm printing Ghostbuster figures. So you can see this is the Proton pack that I got.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming along pretty nice. And then I have my Peter Venkman that I printed out. So we have the body parts here still on the plate and that. But that's not what I want to show today. So I got this cool Batman Returns figure. So any new stuff that's Keaton adjacent, I'm all about. So this just came out. I got this in Target for like $6. So they also have the Dark Knight Bane. Yeah, 3 3/4 size. So it's from the Spin Master line. So Sebastian, I have a bunch of these, but this is the one I'm keeping for myself because it's Dark Knight Returns. So I think it's pretty cool.
Does it have G.I. Joe articulation, or how is it articulated?
It's articulated pretty well. It's not an O-ring figure, but the knees bend, the elbows bend, the waist turns, full shoulder rotation, full legs spread apart. It's pretty good. It's pretty articulated. It's
cloth cape.
Yes, cloth cape.
Cloth cape.
Cloth cape.
What's the price point on that?
$6.99.
That's great.
Yeah. It's a G.I. Joe type. It's a G.I. Joe style figure. It's pretty cool. We have a bunch of them upstairs that are actually in rotation that we play with actively, but that one's staying down here.
You know what I just looked up? The kill counts for Batman's.
Say again?
The kill counts for Batman's.
Right.
Michael Keaton's Batman has around 20, which I feel like that's low.
That is kind of low.
He dropped some guys off buildings, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck had 30 plus.
Are they counting? Because he was just driving over.
Yeah, he was just driving over with the blasting with machine guns on his car. And didn't he shoot a rocket? Didn't he let a rocket go off and blow up a whole floor of a building?
Yes.
He was
hashtag not my Batman, but one of the best Batman.
Yeah. So
now, are they counting how many people Keaton took out in the Flash movie?
No. It was just I put specifically Batman Returns, and yeah.
Oh. 20 people in one Batman movie.
Yeah, that's where we at.
That's it.
I mean, don't forget, Superman just straight dropped normal dudes into a bottomless pit in this Fortress of Solitude.
True. But if it's bottomless,
he has super hearing, so you know.
If it's bottomless, they could just keep falling until they starve to death. Really.
I mean, they might hit the walls, and the next thing you know, they're just ping-ponging off the wall, and then they'll just die.
Yeah, but you hit terminal velocity, you're only going to fall 68 miles an hour.
68 miles an hour hitting walls. Yeah, that'd be a problem.
But you're not hitting the wall directly. You're just glancing off the wall.
I don't know.
In either way, those dudes were toast, and he heard it.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, there's no saving you from throwing that bottomless pit. It's not really a way to come back from that, to be fair. All right, you guys want to get into some news?
Sure, let's get into it.
Job breaking news.
Good pickups, guys. All right, so ETC got into it first, but we'll talk about. We lost James Earl Jones this week, 93 years old. I was doing some research on his life. He had a really, really cool life. He was an Army Ranger.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I know that. I was watching an interview with him and Richard Pryor from like the late 70s, and he just seemed like a cool guy. You know what interview I'm talking about, Jack?
I saw clips of it.
Yeah, and he's the voice of Darth Vader, voice of Mufasa. Like, he was a staple from our childhood growing up. And because Darth Vader was, Star Wars was 1977, he spans back into nerds from our parents' generation. So he really had a long, long, long career. So it's a big loss. He's the voice of CNN. He's the voice of, he's the voice of everything. Like, if you need a voice, like, he's the quintessential voice that's gonna have gravitas and everything. So it's a big loss. But he lived a long, healthy life, 93 years. So we should all be so lucky. It's sad, but it's not tragic, is what I'm getting at. It's sad that we lost him, but he lived a healthy life, and so we're sorry to lose him. He lived in Dutchess County, Rich.
Okay. I don't live in Dutchess County, all right?
Oh, you're in Orange County, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dutchess County is across the Hudson.
Yeah,
Man.
I used to work in Dutchess. Yep. All right, let's get to some other news. All right, so rumor: Spider-Man 4 will see Tom Hardy's Venom fighting Null, the symbiote god.
Well,
No.
that's
I mean-
that's the Black King in Black.
Why you gotta be
You
black?
want to hear? Can I double down on that rumor?
Yeah.
Supposedly, Null might be the big bad in Spider-Man 4, so it'll get introduced in Venom, but carry over to Spider-Man 4, and that will be the big bad for Spider-Man 4.
With
So
Tom with
Venom?
huh.
So
But they're
here's the
picking
thing.
up they're picking
No.
up with Spider-Man having like no identity, new identity. That's still the story.
I assume so. We haven't gotten details, but I assume so. So he's going to kind of start over and be like the broke starving reporter. I assume. I don't know. We'll see. Unless, I mean, they could undo that relatively easy. They could do something. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's a rumor. That's not real.
It's not
concrete.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed.
Because that don't make sense. Why would you have him fight no when he hasn't even been introduced to Venom yet? At least have him go through that whole arc with Venom.
This is Venom: The Last Dance, so
Right.
maybe Venom is. I don't know. I would love to see him. We got the Venom we got in Spider-Man 3 was not really Venom. We got a better Venom in the Spider-Man video game than we did in the movies. So I don't know why we wouldn't just have. They kind of hinted at it in that.
Didn't they drop off the symbiote? I mean, Hardy was in the last Spider-Man movie,
Right.
and he lost a piece of the symbiote there, which
Right.
affected the bartender guy, right? So is that the Venom they're bringing to the Spider-Man?
Don't have no idea. No
You're gonna
idea.
get Tom Hardy there?
I mean, I would love to.
I know
I
you
love-
would.
Yeah, but the problem is with this Venom is kind of the anti-hero Venom. So we need like bad guy Venom.
Well, not if they're fighting Null. I mean, Null in the comics, Venom ends up being the hero again, anti-hero. At that point, I mean, he's the last thing standing between Null and complete universal domination. And they take over all Earth, man. The comics go. King in Black is crazy. But if what we get for the King in Black is a parody of what we got for like Gore the God Butcher,
It will be.
yeah, well, you'll be sitting here listening to me gripe for another year.
That's all right. We got time. Constantine 2. The script is finished for the sequel.
Okay. This,
Almost 20
That's it?
years after.
Man, when it takes 20 years to get a sequel,
Look, I think Constantine is one of the most underrated DC movies out there.
you think Keanu Reeves will shave?
Yeah, he'll shave.
He hasn't been shaved lately. You know,
He hasn't. No.
he's pretty bearded up. So you think we'll get a bearded Constantine?
I'm just happy to get Constantine, to be honest with you. Give me
Would you
beard, no beard, I
rather?
don't care.
Would you rather get someone more comic book appropriate in the role?
No, not at this point. No, we tried that in the TV show. Just give me Keanu.
I think Keanu Reeves was actually pretty great casting in Constantine, or at least that movie.
Yeah,
actually
I thought he
worked.
was great. I mean, have you watched it recently? It holds up.
I watched it a couple years ago, and I thought it actually held up. We reviewed it.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah.
yeah.
And we all came back going, no, this. And didn't Lawrence hadn't watched it before? Someone hadn't watched it before, and he was like, "No, this movie actually does."
Probably
it
Lawrence.
good.
It was definitely Lawrence.
Lawrence has never seen Top Gun, so
Yeah, all right.
I mean,
Man, he can't
to be
defend
fair,
himself right
Top
now,
Gun
so
is straight.
Definitely.
Cutie.
Tim Blake
So,
Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson
told you I've
feels
been to his
great.
house.
It's a great honor to turn his leader. So I think we mentioned this as a rumor a while ago, but he's coming back in Captain America 4. This was a Easter egg that was left in the Hulk. When did the Hulk come out? Back in like 2006 or 2007?
Years
something like
ago.
that? Yeah. So it's good to see him come back. Good to see them kind of close that circle. So I'm excited for that. Leader is a good villain.
See how they rock him. You know?
I'm curious to see how. I mean, they need. I feel like they really mishandled the Hulk, and I feel like there's so much more stuff we could do with the Hulk versus just, have him as a sidekick.
I mean, they did a lot with the Hulk. They turned him into comic relief, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Sidekick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Ewan McGregor wants Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2.
Meh. Why? What are we doing?
Of course he does. Wouldn't you want
for a
that?
check, Rich? That's why he wants to get paid.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? I'll say this: Ewan McGregor's a great actor, and I'm sure he has a tremendous time playing the role and being a part of the franchise. And the work he's doing in it is fun. I mean, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, but what are we going to get?
And that's
I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
You already got
Where
the
does it
battle
go?
with Vader, his apprentice, right? And what are we
Right.
doing now? Him being a hermit on Tatooine? Like what?
Yeah.
So we're going to get the book of Boba Fett now.
Zack
Is what we're
Snyder
doing.
Look, they could get Zack Snyder to film this season, and he could just be making grain for a day.
You mean,
the whole season.
moisture farming? You can't grow anything on Tatooine.
All right, then moisture farming. That's really interesting.
That
Rich,
is
is that a thing?
That's what they had.
I'm
moisture
sure
farms.
I'm sure you can say in those times he had one-off adventures that have no consequence in the Star Wars universe.
Well, you would have to, Chris, if you're doing a prequel series set on
Yeah,
Tatooine,
exactly.
living in Iraq.
Exactly. It would have to have no consequence whatsoever.
But he goes in disguise, so he puts on like a mustache or something.
Or he just goes and does it, and solves like local problems, but with Jedi powers. I mean, that's all you can do.
So it becomes like a one-man A-team?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Rich. That's it. That's exactly it.
No. We're not bringing this to light. Okay, we're not trying to make this happen.
Good, Rich.
No.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. Let that man go in the cave and creep on Luke Skywalker.
Did you see that? There's a funny little short going around, and the bartender's a Jedi, and he's like, "You guys want another drink?" And they're like, "No, we gotta go." And he's like, "No, you want another drink?" And they're like, "Yeah, we want another drink."
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but it sounds funny.
That's it. That's the whole thing right there. So now you've seen it.
with professional expert delivery from Jack. Awesome.
I'm just saying, if you had Jedi powers and you weren't a Jedi, right? If you were able to use, the Force, I'll be selling things too. Like, hey, you want this new useless contraption? You know what? I do need a useless contraption. Just come on inside. Let's talk about it.
I don't need Jedi mind tricks to get me to buy new stupid stuff.
Right. You want to give me a promotion?
Yeah, exactly. What else? Oh, new rumor: a new Vision series as a reverse WandaVision, and MCU and teases Ultron's MCU future. So there's a huge amount. So that we're getting a Vision series. It'll be different from WandaVision. It'll be called Vision. And
Wonderful.
I don't know. Let's see. I'm curious to see how it pans
And it
out.
plays out during the same time period as WandaVision?
I don't know.
Because wasn't he just like disassembled parts for most of that?
Yeah. Because the vision in WandaVision was a figment of her
Right.
imagination, right?
But you got the White Vision.
Yeah,
That was
the
after,
remade
after
vision,
she
yeah.
rebooted him.
yeah. So I'm curious to see what happens. Look, I liked WandaVision. I thought it was weird and different and kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I felt
Except
like,
it didn't mean anything.
well, it could have meant
Talking
something
about-
if Doctor Strange 2
You
would
say,
have
what am I talking about?
We
Rick? Are you hating?
got Agatha. You know, we got a whole Agatha coming out here. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's great.
Look,
Agatha,
Chris-
mind you, who
Chris,
had like
Rich is
three
baiting me
different titles. Agatha, and no one's talking about
look,
that, right?
I am down for Agatha all along. I am.
Isn't it
so
on
down
right
for-
now?
No, it starts. I believe the 18th, Wednesday. It drops.
Isn't that today?
No, today's the 15th.
Well, if you say so.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, what?
No, it is. What are you
I'm not a calendar. I don't control the calendar, Jack. I have very limited powers, Jack. Calendar control is not one of my powers. Watch Dogs live action movie wraps filming. Confirmed the director. Rich, did you play Watch Dogs?
I played the first one. Yeah, I didn't play the second one though.
I never played it. What about you, Jack?
I started it, but it was kind of clunky on me, so I didn't really get into it. But the gameplay trailers looked fun. Does this look like an interesting film, though?
I don't know.
I mean, you could make a film out of it. I guess it's just just going around hacking things,
Right.
like going up against the government or major corporations or whatever it
But
was.
it's set in like modern day. It's not like Cyberpunk is cool because you're in an interesting world.
No, you're just like Cincinnati. You're in some like Midwestern city.
So it's like he's like Mr. Robot.
No, I think they were like in Chicago or something. Like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the trailer looks. And that is all I got for the news. Oh wait. Oh, so here's a sneak peek at Null, played by Norman Reedus, which he'll be a great Null. I think.
Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they got the long white hair.
I mean, he already had the wiry hair at the beginning.
Yeah.
He did
Why
look
does he always look?
unwashed.
Why do he
He
always look
looks
dirty and green? He's
so
from the lower.
unwashed
He's from
every
the
time.
Lower East Side. It's not,
He
it's not like
hasn't
he's
he hasn't bathed in like 2 decades.
yeah.
Everything that I've seen him in, he looks the exact same way, just unwashed, and just like he smokes a pack a day. Like,
And
Pretty great.
women
I mean,
love
he's
him.
great.
Women love him.
Men too. Don't limit it.
I mean, I guess I just know. Yeah.
I
mean,
love
but-
that he seems down to earth, and I like the little motorcycle joint that he does. the
Oh
motorcycle
yeah,
series.
yeah. Ride with Norman Reedus.
Right, yeah, I appreciate that. But other than that,
Yes.
he looks like he smells like Newports. No, I'm sorry, no,
Yeah.
that's a lie.
Marlboro Red.
Marlboro Red.
Reds,
Yes.
Cowboy Killers, baby.
Is
So,
Elden Ring getting a movie?
nah,
What are
that's
we
just
scrolling
Yeah,
through
what are you
here?
scrolling through? What is
no.
that?
These are my screenshots from the news that I prepared for this very. moment.
Why are we not talking about the rumor mill?
Yeah, what's that?
Because that's just clickbait on the bottom.
Well, it's working for me. I want to click
You
it.
want
So,
to click it? It's a picture. You can't click it.
Rich, would you watch that? Would you watch an Elden Ring film?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know any of the lore of Elden Ring, but if they make it proper, like they make it right, and they don't sit there and try to inject crap into it, yeah, I'll
I mean,
give it a
it's
go.
pretty twisted. Would you rather watch? Sorry, I'm Debo the Slap. Would
No,
you
go ahead,
rather
go ahead.
watch an Elden Ring series or a Skyrim series?
Well, I know about Skyrim, so I probably would say Skyrim.
Yeah.
No,
I was scared.
you would rather watch an Elden Ring series because it's twisted. Like it's so.
But isn't Elden Ring Isn't Skyrim part of Elden Ring?
No,
Okay,
man,
shut
get
up.
off the
Just
show.
get
Who are
outta
you?
here. Go get.
Can we get him off the show?
Get outta here,
Nope.
dude.
I'm in control and I'm hosting. So, all right. Enough joking around. It's time for a debate. Give me our non copyright infringed soundbite, Rich.
Non-copyright infringed soundbite would be the.
It's
Oh
not
no, I'm
gonna
sorry.
get us
No!
demonetized.
No, that one's not copyright infringed.
All right, you guys ready for the debate question? I gotta be sensitive because this debate question got us riled up in the chat.
I got y'all riled up. I was like, what did I come into?
Yeah. All right. So here's the debate question. Okay, we'll get to this. So we're doing Rebel Ridge today, right?
Rebel Ridge.
Rebel Ridge, yes.
And can we agree that Rebel Ridge is pretty much Bleacher, Black Reacher?
100%.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So I would say, I'll break that down real quick for everybody. Reacher, my opinion, is about an ex-military guy who's oversized, incredibly smart, basically travels like a hobo, fixing problems in small towns.
Right.
That's exactly the character we get in this content.
Correct.
Which is a compliment to the content. We've seen content stolen throughout the centuries from one good idea, propagated and changed and adapted here, yada, yada, this and that. So no problems there, but yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is with that, what movie or TV series would you reimagine from the point of a different race? Caveat is you can't pick your race. So you can't just say, Rich, I want Black Luke Skywalker. So you pick it from a different race.
Why not?
And give me what
makes the rules.
Give me what it would be and how it would be different from the original content.
So like,
who wants to go first?
So like, you could say something like you'd want to see the Equalizer, but with a white protagonist,
which is exactly what they did for the movie.
Well, the opposite.
right. When they adopted it, they did. So I'll give you my answer first. I would take the Karate Kid. I would set it in Brazil. It would be the Jiu-Jitsu kid. Daniel-san would be a Chinese kid that goes to Brazil, lives with Brazil. He's in the favelas getting beat up. Then he meets his, I can't think of a stereotypical Brazilian name, but he meets his Brazilian Mr. Miyagi counterpart. He teaches him jiu-jitsu, and then he uses that to protect himself. And
Can I put a caveat on top of this debate?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the race swap needs to enhance the content in an arguably better way.
I mean, better is a tough.
It is subjective.
It's a tough description because
in the case of Rebel Ridge being a Jack Reacher-esque role, it didn't change the content one way or the other, right?
There was one moment where they actually acknowledged race a little bit, but otherwise they did not.
Otherwise, no. But like, for example, one of the things you brought up in the chat was if Marty McFly was a black kid going back to the 1950s, that changes the content.
Or even Back to the Future 3 would be.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like that should be incorporated in this debate question, or we're just kind of skimming the surface of what this.
But it is with the Jiu-Jitsu kid.
Oh, good. So explain that to me.
Yeah, because now you're learning a you're learning a whole.
I'm a 3-year-old.
Okay, you're learning a whole new culture. You're learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Uh-huh. Essentially, you have Royce Gracie teaching him the ways of Jiu-Jitsu, how it came to Brazil, the culture behind it. You have this colorful backdrop of Brazil. Every chick is a banger in here. I mean, what's there not to like?
I'm not taking away from that. What I'm asking is how is
every chick is bad. Yeah, well, if you're in Brazil, you're real.
Every chick may have a dick, is what you're saying?
No. Rich, you watch whatever movies you want to watch.
Weird.
Yeah. Every chick is bad. We're Brazilian. Every chick is we're Brazil. Every chick is bad.
You just lost like 4 viewers. In one sentence, they're gone. Well, it was been nice having the show, guys. This will be our last cast.
Then we're here next week.
Now, my question is this though: as it pertains through funneling through the eyes of the protagonist and their race, how is the content? Because you're saying Daniel-san is
now
Chinese,
right?
Going to
now
Brazil.
Juan-san.
Right.
He's now Goku's son.
You can
Right.
still be Daniel.
But now, but yeah,
Could
but
still
now
be
he doesn't.
Daniel.
He doesn't expect to have. So he goes in with this preconceived notion that no one can teach him outside of China because there's no disciplined arts outside of China because he has a very narrow view of the world, Jack. And
So
So he's a
is he a
racist.
Taekwondo artist? Like how does he
No,
how does he
he's
have
not.
this view?
First
So
of
he
all,
has.
I said he's Chinese, not Korean. Rich, stop being racist.
My bad.
Number one. Number two, you know, we always associate martial arts with the Far East, but
Yeah.
no, now he's in Brazil learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
So why would he think that no one can teach him something that belongs in that country?
Because he's his world his view of the world is very narrow, and through his relationship and through his training with
And through a
Brazilian Mr.
solid
Miyagi.
chokehold.
Yep,
He was like,
through
"Oh, wait a
solid
second.
chokehold. Yep. Whoa,
Did I pass out?"
Yep, things just got real, and in the end we're in the colorful backdrop of Brazil. So Jiu-Jitsu
Well,
Kid.
Okay, listen. If you say so, I'm gonna go with mine's next. I'm gonna go 300.
Okay,
But rather than being in what are they like Europe or whatever
Greece.
place over there, Greece, they're in Africa, right? And it's
Flag of the play. Can't use your own race.
oh, that's right. Dang it. Oh man.
And didn't we see that when it was called the
Warrior
Warrior?
Queen?
No,
No,
we didn't see that.
nobody
We
saw
didn't
that.
see that. Nobody saw that, Jack. What are you talking
I might have
about?
saw
We know
that.
why. Okay, fine then. The
You know Jack
300
Logan's called Black
and they're Mongolians. All right, how about that? 300 Mongolians just taking over the
So
world.
the
I don't
Mongols. So
know.
what? So they're on their quest to take over the world.
They're on the quest to take over the world and spread as many babies as they can because you
Well,
know
you-
that'll get
Yeah, you know how
complicated.
many? I forgot what the percentage of people, but there's a huge percentage of people in that part of the world can link their lineage
Huge.
directly back to Genghis Khan.
This will be a story of, and now I'm just going off the fly because I forgot about the rules. This will be a story. It'll be kind of like a comedy, a little bit of violence in there, little, comedy,
You know how funny rape and pillage is.
little raunchiness. No, there'll be none of that. None of that. First of all, no graping. It'll be,
Okay.
it'll be like they'll go through and I don't know, man. I lost it with the Zulu. I was dead set on the Zulu joint. Okay.
That would be kind of dope though. But
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot about that. I couldn't use black people. I think 300 with the Zulus.
I don't know that either of you have actually understood.
I didn't understand it from the
debate,
jump.
even though
Wait, of course
you
I
made
understood
the
the
debate.
debate.
When I read this thing, first of all, for the audience, understand when Chris writes anything, I don't know if he does text to speech,
I do.
but he has,
That's why I have to clarify it. I'm sitting here going, wait, just for
I'm sitting there
clarity's sake.
stroking out multiple
What?
times reading this. I'm like, what is he saying right now? What is this?
The problem is I'm in the shower dictating in the shower, and it always messes up when I'm dictating in the shower.
Okay.
All right, let me give you a
Fact.
proper example.
Okay.
Well, I'm not touch that. Let me give you a proper example of how this debate works. My understanding. Let's take a character like the
Okay.
Joker, right? Or let's just take the film The Joker, and let's reimagine the Joker as a black character protagonist. This lets us actually dive into like systemic oppression, lets us dive into social chaos, and it lets us touch on like mental health and societal neglect issues. And so we're gonna instantly start getting a different backstory for the character that's arguably richer and more fleshed out. Now, if you like the mysterious Joker with no backstory at all, you're not gonna like making the Joker black because you have to now make it specific, right? You're gonna get cultural context. His motivations are gonna change. The social factors that push him into the character that he turns into, that creates this chaotic worldview for him, has to be more specific. Again, mental health, lack of representation for him, especially if you're setting it in the 70s like this film was. So I think for me, at the heart of your debate question, Chris, goes, if I'm changing the character, there are certain characters where I actually think race can and should play a factor in it. And there are certain characters where I'm not sure race
Like
plays any
Ariel from The
factor
Little
in it.
Mermaid?
Like if I'm sure, or like Neo
That's
from
true.
the Matrix, like making Neo black doesn't change the character, doesn't change his story arc, doesn't change anything about the content I'm
I think when it
watching.
comes to fantasy and sci-fi,
make-
though, you have less of an impact of the race versus when you have a more grounded story. Because when you have fantasy and sci-fi stories, the world is so much more expanded that race matters less than it does in the real world.
That's interesting. Like I think that yeah, I mean it can, right? Certainly it can. So then I'm thinking like
Because when you have a
Does-
fantasy movie, you have aliens,
does it-
all of a sudden it's like, I don't have it. It's too tedious to be racist because someone's black or someone's Asian. I just rather hate Gorgons or hate someone else, hate a whole race.
Hate androids.
Yeah, hate a whole
Right.
a whole
Like,
existence
exactly.
versus just a sub genre of
well, and that was Steven Spielberg's answer to Steven Spielberg.
Lucas.
Sorry, that's George Lucas's answer to Star Wars. He goes, race in Star Wars is prejudice
Right.
against machines. You know, and so I go, okay, cool. I can rock with that if that's the world we're living in, the realities of the world. Like prejudice is going to exist, but how is it manifesting, right? Like so. Then I was like, does a movie like Rambo change if you swap the protagonist out for?
Rambo 1, yes. The last two Rambos, definitely not. It's just a mindless killing machine. But the first Rambo, when he's just a dude, when he's just a dude being chased by Brian Dennehy, that definitely makes a difference. But when he's like that first Rambo that came back, where he's just mowing down Cambodians with a minigun, it doesn't matter what he is. He's just killing people.
I don't think so either. But 007. Right? We talk about 007 a lot. Does James Bond being a black guy change the reality of that character's circumstances? I think it does.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A black
Probably
guy
makes it.
in a certain element, they're like, wait a second, we see him.
How'd
As
you
opposed
get here?
to James Bond, a white guy, he can blend in if he needs to.
Yeah.
I think so too. It changes the circumstances a bit. But then I go like look at a movie like Top Gun, Maverick. Does Maverick being a black guy change the character at all or the story? I don't think so.
It could. I mean, it depends. It depends on how hard his coming up was. But no, because in the day, if he was still,
but it doesn't
still
change the story we're watching.
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
and so,
I think it depends on the story and what really the focus of the story is.
Right.
But yeah.
So like, it's too bad Lawrence couldn't make it today because he and I have had long debates about how race has to sometimes be very specific in content. Because so like I had written a script, I'd co-written a script called Start the Fire, and it takes place in Texas with originally the script was a white family in Texas. And then I had changed the script to be a multi-diverse family. So like they had a black father and a white mother, and so the kids are mixed. And I didn't really change the story too much, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized I had to be more specific because having a black family in the 70s in Texas and in the 80s in Texas growing up, it had to be more specific because it couldn't just stay the same story when it was a white family. And so I do think there are a lot of factors that have to kind of be considered when you're looking at adapting or when you're looking at certain choices like that, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't matter. Like Rebel Ridge, I think you could literally take Rebel Ridge, which we'll talk about, and you could take out the protagonist and put Jack Reacher in and not change a single thing in the story, and it'd be the same.
It would be. Yeah. I agree with that on Rebel Ridge. absolutely can take this, expand out the story, and make this season 3 of Reacher. That's how, like, and I'm talking about changing 0 things and making season 3 of Reacher. That's how much of a Reacher story this was, and that's what I was pushing back in the chat. Like, I know Lawrence's standpoint. I don't want to speak for Lawrence, but I know his standpoint is when there's black, because we have so little black content, we have to support what's there and kind of take that into account. And my stance is not necessarily about this content we're talking about, but I agree and I support black content, but I also don't agree the fact that we should have substandard black content and support it just because it's black content.
Yes.
And that's kind of where I draw the line, where we should still hold black content to a level, to a standard that we should be, that we should have, and or even a higher standard. Because I remember growing up, as a black kid in the 80s, my mother always taught me, I can't be just as good. I have to be better.
Yeah.
To be able to strive. So if we're trying to make black content more mainstream, I think it needs to be better to be successful and to drive the art along. And that's kind of where I draw the line. I don't necessarily think just having a ton of black content for the sake of black content, I don't think it helps anything, to be honest with you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'll use Rebel Ridge as an example. I don't think race played a factor in this story.
It didn't. It had one scene and one scene only where race was kind of alluded to during that like lynching scene, but outside of that, and I thought it was going to go there. In the very beginning, where the guy gets pulled over, and this is going to be
the opening scene, incredibly uncomfortable.
Right, this is going to be a racially charged movie, and it wasn't. It wasn't.
It's not. And we'll talk into that. We'll talk about that when we talk about the content. But I'll use it as an example for the question: would a film like this land better if the race played a factor in it?
Yes.
And it
I mean, yeah.
And then I say, it starts feeling. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, you would get a huge justice boner if, like, this guy is, they're like, we're gonna take your money, boy, and blah blah blah, and then he rises up against the the small town oppressive racists. Yeah, I think it would have translated better and made it a little bit more exciting and gave us a more feeling of satisfaction versus what we got. Like, all we got, like, we're talking about Rebel Ridge because it really pertains to, but all we got in Rebel Ridge at the end, spoiler alert, was he just got some, like, a weird form of vindication, but not really fully vindicated. But it wasn't that, like, that Django moment where he gets the bad guy and they're like, you see, like when Samuel L. Jackson's black hating slave dies, or when Leonardo DiCaprio gets shot. It's not that, like, you've been treating us like
Leo
crap.
Get shot?
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. But you don't get that. Like, I hated this character throughout this movie, and now he gets his comeuppance, and now I feel like I get that satisfaction.
Well,
we don't get that in this.
Yeah. All right. So I think I won the debate. Let's talk about Rebel Ridge.
No, let's not. I think I won the debate.
How'd you win the debate?
With Jiu-Jitsu Kid, because I got a bunch of hot Brazilians in the background, so that automatically wins the debate.
Jiu-Jitsu Kid. Every time you say that, I think of Jujutsu Kaisen. Anyway.
So let's get into Let's get into Rebel Ridge. This is what I wanted, Jack, because we were getting into it in the chat, and I felt like it was really, really, really good content, and I wanted to make sure that we brought it into the podcast. I didn't want to stray away from it. So I want you to pick up where your last. I'm going to give you a really quick synopsis, and then finish with what you were saying. So Rebel Ridge, he's an ex-Marine that grapples his way through a web of small town corruption. When an attempt to pose bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with the local police chief. And that's Rebel Ridge. And if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's number one on Netflix. It's been number one on Netflix for the past 2 weeks. And we were calling it Bleacher or Black Reacher in the chat because...
Don't say we.
Well,
say we. I do not co-sign on that.
I think Rich said it first. Rich was like, because I think Rich watched it when it first came out.
Did I?
Yeah.
Actually, I did. No, yeah, I did.
So Rich said Black Reacher first, and then I watched it last night, and I'm like, this joint is just black. This joint
Look,
straight.
there's almost no bigger compliment you can give a person than stealing their idea and trying to make it yours.
Right.
So
That's true.
there's that. This is not a new story. We've seen this story. There's elements of Rambo in this. There's definitely a lot of elements of Reacher in this. The acting was pretty good. The story is ultimately, it's definitely worth the watch.
Oh, you missed a little bit of news.
What?
John Boyega was actually going to be Terry.
There's that.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
And he walked out for family issues.
Yes, that should have been news. Anyway, keep going. It's your show.
John Boyega would have been a totally different.
I don't think it would have been less Reacherish if John Boyega, because his brother is tall. He has the height. He's not as big as Alan Richardson is, but he still imposes a good presence. So I don't think John Boyega has the intimidation factor the same way. I think
he don't.
Aaron.
He doesn't.
He does. John Boyega, Aaron Pierre. John Boyega is the Lawrence and I joke when we were younger. We joked about how we were like the quintessential non-threatening black man. But John Boyega is even more non-threatening than
John Boyega's 5'9". This dude is 6'3". So yeah.
John Boyega is just super non-threatening. I couldn't picture him in a stare down with Don Johnson. Like
neither.
Yeah, you couldn't.
And Don Johnson's really great in this.
Don Johnson is awesome.
He's great in everything. That's true. But there are a lot of really good little acting fun moments. Sounds like Walking Tall. That's what Lawrence had actually said.
Yeah. Lawrence said that, but I don't think Lawrence actually watched the movie, etc. Let me know. No, he didn't watch it.
If he watched it, he would have known it's not Walking Tall. Walking Tall was similar but different. It was a Marine that went to his town, saw how messed up it was, and wanted to clean it up.
This is definitely Reacher. This is a guy crossing through making a small town better.
And here's the thing about the Reacher thing. It's not even a reach to call it Reacher. It's even the personal aspects of Reacher was the same thing. This dude just travels with he had over 30 G's in his bag, and he's just riding his bike.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you really sit back and look at the story, I don't even think he was actually a good guy, because he was bailing his cousin out, who was in jail for a deal gone bad, which we only got little glimpses of that. And this man is getting money from a dude that does gambling or illegal gambling or something like that.
Yeah, so Mr. Lou, he gets pulled over. Story opens up where he's getting.
We're gonna talk about the content for real now.
Yeah. So he gets rear-ended on his bike by Roy from The Office.
Can we talk about? Yeah, no, he does. Wait, but before that even happens, though, this opening scene was kind of hard for me to swallow. This military guy, smart guy, is riding his $1,000 bicycle.
No, thousands. You can get a few grand for this bike.
Okay, so that's his most coveted worldly possession is his bicycle and means for getting around. So he's cruising on his bicycle in kind of a back road. It's not a dirt road, but it's a back road. And he's got his earbuds in, and they are cranked so loud that he cannot hear the police cruiser behind him swerving back and forth behind him with its sirens going. I find this hard to believe. And so then the police cruiser clips the back of his wheel and sends this guy face
tumbling end over end.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got someone new in the chat. Polar Knights says there's one human race. And we're with you, Polar Knights.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Too bad the rest of the world doesn't believe
Polar Knights also bounced.
He probably did.
Probably also bounced when you mentioned when you
mentioned
C-23. Whatever that thing was.
You want to finish that?
You're in.
Yeah. Okay.
So back what Jack was saying. So he hits him. He goes tumbling. He gets pulled over.
Steve
He
Blade.
gets searched. He's like, get a dog to search me. He's like, does it take an hour? Do you have an hour? He's like, no, fine. I don't have anything illegal. Let me go. Dude has 36 G's cash on him. He's going to
Right.
go buy a truck.
which is suspicious.
He's going to go buy a truck, and he's going to go bail his brother out. Roy from the office is like, oh, word? I'm gonna confiscate your money and say, because you're gonna go bail your brother out who's in for a drug charge, that you're in on it, and I'm gonna charge you, if you fight it, I'm gonna charge you with conspiracy. So too bad, so sad. I'll see you when I see you.
So at this point in the film, it is feeling very racially charged.
racist. And okay, can I just jump ahead and spoil the whole movie because
Okay.
something made zero sense to me.
I don't see
Because we're jumping around, pacing, and kind of the movie plays out like a episodic show, right? Because you have these arcs that begin and end. You have he goes to try and see,
Yeah.
he goes to get his money back. Then he has this interaction with the sheriff. He makes a deal with the sheriff. Then his brother gets shanked up, and then he goes back for revenge. So it has like these like mini arcs that keeps going on and on and on and on, right? And when does so long story short, there's a mole inside the corrupt police department that they call Serpico. Yeah, it's from that
Serpico.
movie Serpico with was it De Niro or Pacino? Pacino, I think.
Yeah.
And they thought it was a black girl, which was kind of like a red herring.
Well, he thought it was the black girl because the white chick said,
Right.
"How do you know it's a guy?"
And then it ends up
Because he assumed it was a guy, and then she misdirected him, saying,
Right.
"You don't know it's a guy."
right.
And so now he's assuming it's the only girl, the only other girl
Right,
in the
right,
film.
exactly.
Which is crazy because wasn't she the guy, the person?
No, it was Roy.
Was it Roy?
No,
It was Roy
the
from
big
the office. It was the informant.
I might have missed.
Right.
That. Okay.
guy
Oh
who got
yes.
shot
Okay. No, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. So, but what I want to know is this guy has been in on it. This guy is obviously targeted him, claimed his money. When did he have the change of heart? Was it when the cousin died that he was like,
No,
what
no,
we're
no.
doing is wrong?
No. You missed the plot point. The plot point. They tried to give you plausible deniabilities for the villains of the story, the police of the story, or the villains of the story. And the plausible deniability is when you got the monologue from what's the Nash Bridges? What's the guy's name?
Johnson.
Right, Johnson.
Chief, yeah.
He gives the monologue when they're driving in a car after what's the big guy's name?
Terry.
Terry. So Terry is the name of our protagonist, our big military guy. So Terry stumbles into their evidence room at some point, and he sees all this stuff that the police have been taking, and stacks of money and guns that they've acquired. And so Johnson gives Terry a big monologue trying to essentially let him know why the cops are doing what they're doing in a legal way, although it's not legal.
Right.
Why
They pretty
all
much
money.
rent out their equipment to
Right. Basically, it
outlying
comes down
cities.
to this movie is about bad budgeting and budget cuts. That's what
Right.
this movie is about.
Yeah. Well, and that monologue was so thick because Johnson's character knows that Terry's cousin at this point in the film got shanked in the prison, and Terry's whole thing was just to save his cousin, and so now his cousin's going to die, and you look at Johnson's looking down the barrel of the gun going, this dude's about to obliterate us. Let me be honest with him and let him know why we're doing what we're doing, and maybe we can win him over.
Right.
And so we get the whole backstory of why Johnson and the police aren't necessarily bad. They're definitely not racist. They might be horrible cops.
But they did imply that they were racist because the black girl got the crappiest car in the lot. She's still driving the Caprice.
Yeah, that was like the one. Yeah,
That was the only
that's
thing.
true.
She also could have been the rookie. Like you
That
really get
is
no
also
story on
true.
that.
And she's not also on the streets either.
Look, I don't want to be insensitive, but she didn't necessarily look like the most capable police officer on the force.
Are you saying women can't be
Are
capable
you-
police officers?
No, I'm not.
What are
saying
you
that at
saying
all.
right now?
I'm saying she wasn't like Ripley from Aliens. She
Clutch
didn't
my
look like she.
pearls. I am offended, sir.
Wow.
Yes, I know. That's why
Wow.
we shouldn't be talking about this content.
No,
Like
but you're
no
right.
good
I
way.
know. She was set up like a desk officer, and
But then she's also ex-military, right? She's the other ex-military person, which is why she sticks up for Terry in that moment.
no, I thought
Which
she
is
only
also
stuck up-
why
I thought she stuck up for Terry because she realized that Terry was doing the right thing.
she didn't stick up for Terry, because when Terry said thank you, she said, "I didn't say it for you. I said it for myself."
No, she said that against the Hicks when they were saying that stuff outside. But there was time where he gave her back her gun, and she could have just been like, get on the ground, and she didn't do it
She did do it at the end of the film.
at the
Yeah, at
end
the
of
end.
it. But not when
When
called
he
the
gave
first
her,
time.
hang on though. When he gave her back her gun earlier in the film, because this scene kind of happens twice,
Twice. Yep.
he gave
Yeah.
her an empty gun with no bullets in it, and
Yes,
said,
yes.
"If you don't want this to end in a bloodbath, go with it and pretend I'm your prisoner. Get me out of here. Diffuse the situation."
Yeah.
And then he handcuffs her to the car. So the only time he ever actually gave her back a loaded gun, she turned it back on him and said, "Get on the ground."
So was she just a good cop that had no idea? Because my wife and I were arguing about this. Because my wife says that she was in on the jig. But
All
when-
of them were in on the jig.
Yeah.
All of them understood the financial situation of the police station.
So except for the chief buying the margarita machine, they're actually just using the money for
The police station.
Yeah.
police.
That's
So
it.
it's not like Training Day where they were getting rich. Like they're not
No.
taking it. But so let me ask you this. Here's another problem I have with the motivation is, okay, I get you're kind of bending the law so that you can keep your job, but now if you're doing this and you're not
I wouldn't even say bending the law. They're finding wiggle room within the law.
right, so they're
They're like a billionaire not paying their taxes.
right.
They're
right.
operating within the loophole of how the system works.
Right.
So let me ask
It
you this.
ain't, don't mean it right, don't mean it's moral, but it's how
Right.
the system works.
So let me ask you this. So they're doing this. When do you make the jump from bending the rules to killing?
Well, wait. Before we even go that far,
Hold on.
the
Rocky,
second
get
they're
out of
just,
here.
are you okay? She's
Stupid
getting like
dog.
attacked.
Yeah, get out of here. Go lay down. You're ruining the podcast. Go.
Wait. Before we even get that far, the second they're just randomly crashing into people riding their bikes so they can detain them and take their money, they're no longer upholding the law, right?
But Jack, there's a big difference between minor assault and killing people. Like, okay, I'll give this as an example. Today, Sebastian and I were going to go drive remote control cars, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there's a construction site that's allegedly closed. Says "Do not enter, no trespassing." Right, but it has a lot of cool mounds. It's a perfect place to drive remote control
You're
cars.
going to be one of those people? Go on. Keep going.
So Sebastian and I drove through the access code just so that we could ride our Hummers. Did we break the law or did we bend the rules? Fine, but
No. You broke the law. Is
Okay.
what you did.
But okay. So I broke a very, very, very little law. But when do I make the jump from? It's not like I broke the law and then I killed the security guard. You know, I didn't make that drastic jump, and that's the problem I have. It's one thing to do one thing, and it's a completely other thing to be just down to like kill
Well-
so easy.
Well, we saw at the end of the film, there's some funny stuff in the chat we should get to eventually. But we saw at the end of the film that it wasn't all the cops really in the know. They were just operating whatever their protocols were and they were set to do. There was only like 4 cops that were really manipulating the system to keep the whole station
And where
afloat.
do all the other cops come from at the end?
They're just out
Right?
patrolling. They're patrolling.
No, he's so right. I thought that too. I go, how did
They-
this go from a
They
station
have
of like 6
sectors,
people
and
to a
you know
station of like 20 people?
they were in their sectors. You know.
Nah, dude. And then there was like 7 cars.
Yeah,
It was really, they were like, we need more extras here for the end.
yeah. We need to make
Gotta-
the force.
Gotta feel bigger. Or maybe he asked the adjacent town to get involved or something.
But he
Which is also
can't
why-
because they're doing Grimes. They can't ask unless the adjacent town is doing the same jig. You're not going to call them to jump in.
But
Right.
that's why you saw them not go with it. So either what happened was you had enough non-corrupt cops understand that, wait, something's not adding up here, and that's why they overthrew Johnson at the end, and the girl run him off in the pit maneuver. Or you got cops from another adjacent town going, did the chief just shoot a police officer? What's going on here? What's really going on here? And eventually they throw him out. So what you see is salvation for the police force, that not all cops are corrupt here, right?
Yeah, I just wish, I just had a hard. I wish, we talk about mustache twirling villains, and it would have made more sense to make Don Johnson a mustache twirling villain, like versus what he was. He was just a regular politician, right? Bending
Just
the
trying to
rules,
keep his job.
trying to keep his
I
job.
was trying to keep
Yeah.
his job.
Yeah,
Like, at first-
Not only that, he
At
was just
first, I
trying
was
to
like,
keep
okay, I don't. Yeah, at first I was like, I'm not sure if I like this guy because he was really coming off like low key racist. But then after a while, he explained everything. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
right.
Yeah.
He's just trying to keep his people employed. Like,
Right. I don't
And he
agree with
treats the
your
black girl mad
tactics.
good. It's not like he treats the black girl badly. He treats the black girl mad good. So it's not like he's. I didn't get a racist vibe from him. Like he was treated. He even treated Terry right at the end. Like, look, just get out of here. I bought you your truck. Leave us alone
Right.
and go. And it wasn't
Right.
like
And he
there was
even
no
said that. He goes,
stupid comment.
if I knew it was going to play out this way, if I knew who you were, if I knew your cousin was going to die, I would have made different choices, man. I'm sorry it went down the way it went down. I'm just trying to keep my lights on. And you're like, well, I don't like you for your choices, sir, and you're making questionably bad choices. Not even questionably, but yeah, wasn't would this content have landed better if it were a little more cliche and was like
it
a racist
probably
one?
would. It
Yes,
probably
it would
would.
have.
Because I was
It would.
like I said, I'm sitting looking at this thing. I'm like, this dude's really just trying to keep his people employed. I can't be too mad at this. But then, but then I'm looking at Terry. I'm like, no, I think he might be the bad guy. Like he's running with like pretty shady people, getting money for his cousin who was involved in a shady deal. I think Terry might be the bad guy here. I'll be honest with you.
Because in the first couple of scenes, I'm siding 100% with Terry, and I'm just
Right.
like, I'm salivating for him to tear these dudes apart.
Right.
And by the end of it, they're all kind of like, Terry's not a good guy. He literally takes the law in his own hands. He's breaking people's arms. He's shooting people, and he's doing it just
No, but
because.
he's shooting people with less lethal. He doesn't kill anyone. Nobody dies except for Terry's cousin. Nobody dies in this movie.
Also, my gripe with Terry, because I had a brief conversation with people that were in the military, and they were breaking it down just a little bit. They were like, "Listen, his class was so low, it doesn't make sense why he's so sufficient in everything that he does. They even say he didn't even go into combat. So it's like, how are you so good at all this stuff? Just being a martial artist.
He was the trainer.
Yeah, I read that as
Wait. The best part, though, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but this guy is so Rambo sufficient that there's a scene where he goes down to the random river that's flowing through the town. He's got two grubs, and he catches a fish with his bare hand. Oh, mother luncher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, I was just waiting for him to start making bow and arrows.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been better. The way I read it was they were reading his bio or whatever, his file, and like there's nothing here. I thought, okay, everything is redacted or everything is like top
if they
secret.
gave me that, I'd have been like, okay, this is more believable. He's been in the thick of it. He's been on missions that no one can talk about. Like they pull out a sheet and everything's just black on it, except for like a couple of words here and there. That would have made more sense. But the fact that they were like, oh, he hasn't gone to war, hasn't seen no combat. He's just been an instructor this whole time. And whether he's a black belt and whatever, this, that, and the third, is like, bro, there's no way you're this efficient on just instructing people on how to do things. Right. You have no experience. Like, what are we talking about? Well, what?
Even Davy Crockett killed his bear somewhere. first,
Yes, but he even said this is the first time I ever got to a street fight.
which I thought was a
He
weird
said
thing
that.
that you even put in the script. Yeah, it was a weird thing to put in the script. I agree.
I don't know.
You
I
should-
feel like
because-
this movie. We talk about. We're spending a lot of
Also, I
time
thought
talking
the
about
way
the
they
racial
responded,
overtones.
I mean, it was such a stereotypical moment, right? Where you're looking at, and I don't mean in a bad way. It's like you expected. This is the plot, where you see the people are finally doing the research on the guy, and there's like no information. The guy shows up in real time. The person goes to confront them, and then in real time they get the one information. Like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's like John Wick.
Oh no! Keep your distance.
Run,
Chief.
keep your
Yeah.
distance.
And then
Also,
we just hold on real quick. Just go into one of the comments right here. Right. This man, yes, he's riding around with so much money in his backpack on a bike. If you're so smart and calculating, get the car first. Get into the car, drive down, bail your cousin out, and get out of Dodge.
Or put the money in a bank account, idiot, and just wire it to the bail people and just be done with it.
I don't know how any of this works, Chris, but yeah, if you say so, sure.
I mean, he says that his money's legit.
even
his
Jack
money's-
Reacher had a credit card or a debit card.
Even Jack Reacher had a credit card because he knew when the high yellow chick was trying to get a
Because
hold of him.
it wasn't efficient for Reacher, who can only take a pair of pants with him. No, he doesn't even take a pair. He's got his jacket.
He just goes
He's
to-
not running around with cash.
I like how Reacher's like 6'10" and goes to Goodwill and finds perfectly
Things.
tailored
Yes.
clothes.
I was like, okay, listen, bro. I'll believe that you can like take down 5 guys, but you went to a regular store, right, with random clothes in there and just found things that fit you? No way.
Oh man. Oh man. And then what else we say? Who carries cash? Some cash, but your life savings in a Chinese bag?
So
It's
he
true.
actually had no cash. The cash was all from the Chinese restaurant.
No, some of it was his, and the rest of it he cashed out his portion. He owned
His
the
share,
portion
his
of the
share.
restaurant, and
Right.
he cashed out his share. Yeah, Mr. Liu, who was a communist, by the way, bailed him out. And I forgot. So he had the crescent and star tattooed on his arm. He's rolling with communists. He's probably not. Mr. Liu's probably not a communist anymore, but he fought for the Chinese in the Korean War. Like, where? Is Terry a threat to national security?
Like, really?
Like, what are you doing? bro?
It's Terry's the bad guy here.
Like,
Like,
you're
Wait,
one
so-
step away from like, yo, this is my boy the Taliban. Like
What you're really
what
asking is why is he off the radar in the first place?
yeah, he's definitely on. If this was all true, he's 100% on a list somewhere.
And he seems pretty young, right? Like Terry's not
Yeah.
that old.
Yeah.
He's
he's
20,
like 30. He had to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
early
So
30s.
I think we're
Hey, would this guy
looking
make a
deep
good
into
Jon
this movie
Stewart?
called- I think it'd
Are
make a good Jon
we're just
Stewart.
going off on a tangent somewhere
I'm
else.
sorry. I did think it when I was watching the film. I was like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? He'd probably make a good Jon Stewart.
Yeah, but I think we're expanding this movie into the role of race and stuff like that. But I think we have to actually talk about the movie itself, and this movie is kind of a mess all around. It's kind of it starts out pretty strong, and it's kind of a mess. Even the big end battle was like this guy's fighting a whole squad of cops with less lethal. They're shooting guns at him, and he's throwing like flashbangs.
He does
Yeah.
get shot like 3 times
But
in the course of the film.
zero recourse, Jack. It doesn't matter.
Do you feel like he played his injuries very well? Not him,
Well,
but
not-
the script.
He doesn't feel pain, Jack. It's like Reacher.
Yeah,
It-
nah, because
it's-
he got
it's exactly like Reacher. Reacher gets shot. He's like, "Ow, okay, take it out."
Yeah.
Flash
Okay, I'm
wound.
like
good.
he legit got shot in his back and it was like,
Why
I'm
is-
good. I'm good for the fight. I'm good for
Yeah,
the
he
next
got
fight.
shot in his arm and directly in his. But first of all, if you get shot in your back here, your lungs are here. You
Yeah.
have major vital.
But it
organs.
got that bullet stopped on a shoulder blade. It got stuck.
Oh, okay.
At point blank
Still, that's
range,
why it was like
sure
it was
did.
still just on the flesh. Like that dude pulled that. You could see the bullet sticking out still sticking out. It barely went into him, and that cop was like that cop was 6 inches away from him.
He was point blank. That's point blank.
He shot that bullet would have gone through him. But
what millimeter would the cop have been using for the thing just to deflect?
Bare minimum
22.
Oh, yeah, 22. Yeah, for the deflect, the 22,
like a CD short 22, like one of those like subsonic round 22s that are made to be quiet.
With like a low wadding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it would be. But to shoot a 9mm at point blank range in your back like that, it's going through you, buddy.
How aggressive are those tasers?
Not aggressive enough for him to be like, ah.
My man took that.
Because when he tased the dude was like, oh,
he was like,
but when he got tased, he was like,
yeah.
Because I saw a video of a guy running, and the guy got tased, and he stiffed and dropped.
No,
stiffed and dropped.
You get solid contact with the leads, yeah, you're going down. You're absolutely going down. If one of the leads don't make proper contact with you, then yeah, you can eat it. But he got tased straight to his back and was like
straight to his back, clean shot. And look,
I grunted it off.
Yeah, I interviewed for Taser. I got to like phase 3 of the interviews. I never got the job, but but yeah, I almost got a job with Taser back in the day.
Just saw ETC's latest comment.
What ETC said? ETC. For everything you guys have been saying about this show, ETC is a movie. It sounds like it's as pointless and confusing as Rosie O'Donnell having a condom procession. ETC, the movie's a mess. It's a movie, but it is a mess. Like it goes.
Wait, can I be honest? I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. It wasn't original.
Overall, I enjoyed it, but other than that, bro, I was just like,
yeah, I enjoyed it. Listen, it's easy to pick at a thing, but it wasn't. Yeah. It actually wasn't bad. It was a fun watch.
We're not even talking about the. Well, was she a lawyer or was she like an office clerk? What was she?
I didn't understand that either.
She was an ex-heroin addict office clerk.
She was like a paralegal. She was like a paralegal.
Yeah, and she was trying to get her lawyer, but she was. So what happened was with her, she used to have a problem. She used to have a drug problem. She got divorced, and now she's trying to. Part of her like agreement was to stay clean and keep a job. So she worked where they did bail and marriage certificates because those things go together.
Cromwell.
Yeah, and so that's what. So when she started uncovering this, they explained it like 4 times, and I still wasn't understanding it. So they would keep. Oh, so they had a lawsuit against the town that almost bankrupted the town. So now, if someone gets arrested and it's questionable, they'll keep them in jail for 90 days because that brings less attention for some reason.
Right. But then why was the cop who was part of the system dropping this lady who's not even a lawyer documents and evidence to go researching it just to put her in question?
That's my question, Jeff. When did he make the decision like, I'm not going to be part of this corrupt system anymore? He was doing that before he ran the guy off the bicycle. So right? He was giving her documents. Why does he keep doing it then?
Oh no, that's my question.
It makes no sense. I'm trying to tell you, Jack. I agree with you. It makes no damn sense. It's not like he becomes Bad Roy and then. It's not like Roy in season 8 where he's married, plays the piano, and starts a paving business. And he's a good guy now. He never makes that redemption. We never see anything. It's not like he's not in love with a white girl. Like I don't know what his deal is. Like he just decides one day, like the cousin dies. He's like, this is my fault. But that happens off screen. Give us some kind of redemption.
No. But it happened. But it happened before the film started. Because he was feeding the paralegal lady.
So then why is he running this guy off the road and taking his cash?
No, that's my question.
Right, I'm asking also if he goes through this redemption arc prior to the movie starts. So what we're supposed to believe is that he's going through this redemption arc before the movie starts. Right, he's part of the problem. He's realizing that something's wrong, and he's feeding information to to court clerk chick, where he could just go to the news, but he goes to court clerk chick. But then
Well-
he's still robbing people in the streets.
Was the partner with him in the car when they run him off the road, or was that a separate car? Because
was a
both the
separate car.
cops are there.
He was a separate car, but he still jacked him. He's still like, yo, I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna charge you a conspiracy.
Who ran him off the road? Was it his partner who ends up being
Roy,
really bad?
Roy ran him off the road. Roy straight up ran him off the road.
Yeah, it don't make no sense.
Doesn't make any damn sense.
It don't make no sense for him to end up being the person in. I have to go back and watch that opening scene right now because I think we have to be wrong. For him to be the one who ends up being
Jack, we're not wrong.
the person on the inside trying to stop the thing, he shouldn't be the catalyst for the whole movie to start. Are you going back and watching
Right.
the beginning? Are you watching the opening?
That's exactly. I'm putting it right now. That's exactly my point. That's
Because
exactly
one of the cops was definitely a little more on the "you're a horrible person."
Right. It's that was the cop that was that tried to kill him, and then he was like, "Good job. That was a good pull." Not
Right, the one who shot him.
yeah.
Was he? But that cop was not the one driving the car who ran him off the road.
No, I'll tell you
Hold on,
right
I'm
now
watching
for
it. I'm
sure.
watching
Hold
it
on.
right now. Hold on.
Hey, we're all
Boom,
watching now.
clipped him. He's down. Took the tumble. He's getting out. Mind you, he's
The
in
guy
old
with the
squad
beard.
car.
It's Roy.
So you're telling me Serpico, who ends up being the mole?
No.
in the
It
police
wasn't
station
Roy.
trying to make
Roy.
things better.
No, Roy comes out the new cruise. Oh no, it was Roy. Yeah. It was Roy.
It was Roy.
It was Roy. Oh man,
Roy ran him over.
Roy ran him off the road.
That don't make no sense. That the good cop mole, and I use that in soft air quotes, good cop mole, for this film, is also the catalyst for the film to have started. That don't make sense. If it was
Yes,
if
and
it was
then
the
so-
other guy, sure, because the other guy's like clearly enjoying it.
Yeah, the other guy was absolutely like, yeah, I'm gonna mess this boy
Yeah,
up.
the other guy says the N word with a hard R at the end.
The hard R, regular.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
are we gonna rank this thing?
Yeah, let's get rank it. Let's get rank it and be done with this thing. I give it a 5. I think it was decent. It was a decent watch. I'm not ashamed that I watched it, but I'm glad I didn't pay money for it.
Okay.
Would
I'm
you
a-
watch a sequel?
Would I watch a sequel? Probably, Jack. Probably.
Yeah, I would watch a sequel just for them to come out and say, yeah, now he's actually a bad guy. Surprise.
Nah,
Because
they ain't gonna do that.
yeah. He's defected from the.
he's actually out here making terrorist cells. Like he's trained.
My question is, where does the sequel go for this? Does it go Rambo route or does it go Reacher route?
No, it just Jack Reacher route. He's gonna make his way to another town
where a drug deal went bad. Because that's
Yeah,
how. Let's be for real.
uncover some injustice that only his method of justice can save.
What? He's saving his drug empire right now. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, I'm gonna give this a 6 just because I'm gonna give it that extra point because for my peoples.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But this is a mid watch and it got confusing. It got confusing in there, but it was still entertaining to a degree. It was
See,
still
here's-
entertaining.
It wasn't boring. I'll tell you that. It was not boring.
But it was a little repetitive. Like
Why?
you kept
Why do you
waiting
think, why do you
for
say repetitive? Because they did the same exact scene twice in the same movie.
Yep, that is why I'm saying that. I say this: I would give it a 6, if not for the fact that the good cop is actually the bad cop at the beginning of the film who starts the whole conflict.
Jack's mind is blown. He's like, no way.
But it don't make sense. If it was the other cop, then yeah, I'd give it a 6. But and like I said, I enjoy this film. I enjoy the performances. It's not blowing any wind up my skirt, but it was a decent watch. But that don't make any damn sense that the turns out to be the good cop at the end is the most violent, abusive cop in the beginning.
Exactly.
And it's unprovoked. It wasn't like he
Ex-
random searched the guy. He drove over him with his police car while he was on a bicycle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a 5 is probably pretty fair, actually. So collectively, we maybe gave it like a 5.3?
5.5. Yeah, 5.3, something like that. So that's Rebel Ridge. Watch it.
Rebel Ridge.
Watch it. See if it makes sense to you guys. And the title is from like one small portion where they meet up at the end. On Rebel
Yeah, but
Ridge.
it's a cool spot.
That's right.
We'll meet you at Rebel Ridge.
It is a cool name.
I would watch a sequel to this Netflix. So if you feel like making another one, I'm gonna watch that. And I want to
Yeah,
see
I'll
this
watch
this actor in some more stuff. I thought he was maybe.
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah.
If I'm being nitpicky, I thought he had a lot of really great internal moments, but maybe his vocal range was pretty one tone, and that might be because he's not. He's a British guy doing an American accent, so I don't know if that limited his range a little bit. But I wouldn't mind seeing him in something else where maybe he can use his natural voice.
This movie.
First of all, Britney Spears would probably be great to have drinks with.
Britney Spears is a good time.
Like,
etc.
what? You just
my
break
God.
out dancing out of nowhere? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
with knives.
With knives. Just,
Come on, it's a party, etc. Come
Yeah.
on, man. That's how we get down over here, boy. All right, so that's it. Yeah, that's Rebel Ridge. So I gotta. Yeah, that's it.
that's it.
All right, so let me give you some recommendations. Give to Bashy, and I gotta go pick up my my groceries. So. Hit me with the recommendations, Jack. Well, first, Rich, hit me with some transfer music.
Oh, transferring? Oh, here we go. There we go.
Okay. So we talked about. Thank you, Jack. We talked about how Rebel Ridge was essentially Jack Reacher. There's been some other properties that are pretty much ripoffs of other properties. So
Ooh, I like this list.
Yeah, remember Olympus Has Fallen?
Yes.
A ripoff of White House Down, like almost
Wait.
to the T.
Wait, Olympus Has Fallen wasn't just a sequel to White House Down?
No, no, Jack. It's a completely separate entity.
No.
Yes. Here's what they say.
Hey, isn't it the same actors?
No, it's not. It's completely different.
Okay.
You have you have Morgan Freeman as a president. And you have Jamie Foxx as the president, but it's still white guy saves black president.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy Olympus Has Fallen better than White House Down, to be honest.
Yeah.
Was Channing Tatum in one of them? And
Channing Tatum was in White House
The other
Down.
one was Gerard Butler.
right.
It's not the same movie.
But they
It
weren't
feels-
sequels, just recasts?
No,
No.
they weren't. They were different movies.
They're different movies, Jack.
Okay. If
Okay.
you say so.
So the Terminator 1 and the Outer Limits. The Terminator premise is they say they bit off directly from the Outer Limits that came out in the late 70s, I believe.
The Outer Limits wasn't like a
Yeah.
80s show we watched as kids?
No, it's not. It's
Are you
not.
sure you're not thinking of Twilight Zone, which
I'm
preceded Outer
positive.
Limits?
I am positive. And I'm going by Screen Rant on this one.
Wow.
Verify,
Outer Limits looks like-
double check.
So there was a robot
Like
went
Twilight
back in
Zone.
time to go stop a lady from having a kid in the Outer Limits?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, so they did an episode of The Outer Limits.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess.
The Incredibles. They say The Incredibles ripped off Fantastic Four. This one I can push a little bit back, but
Come on.
Of course they did.
Come on.
Yeah.
Even the suits.
yeah.
Change
Yep.
it from blue to red. That's not. Come on.
Yep. And here's my favorite. This is the last one we'll leave you with. The Fast and the Furious is shot for shot, word for word, Point Break.
Point
with
Break.
cars.
Part
Yeah.
1 is.
Okay.
Part 1 is.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So, and that's my recommendations. If you want to see movies that ripped off other movies, do that. Bashy, what do you got?
So you remember the Lego Grogu?
Yeah. Say that again. Okay.
Aw.
Lego. Okay. Yeah. Look at that.
Lego Grogu. It's just Grogu.
That's like a life-size Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty realistic, right?
It does.
with the
It has hair.
no,
Oh,
So
but it does have the coat.
does he have feet?
No,
Nope.
No
It-
feet.
it because it's kind of like
it's just a long trench coat.
Yeah, just has the nubbins down there.
But
Got
he
it.
but he
That
has the
might be
big breast
lazy
guys.
toy making.
That might be lazy toy making. We don't need feet. But all right, guys, Bashy, tell them what to do.
like and subscribe.
Yeah,
Please.
please. There you go. That was nice.
Aw.
All right.
Well, maybe I'll subscribe to our channel now.
Yep.
Maybe he'll subscribe.
Subscribe for Grogu.
Subscribe.
Yes, we'll give you more Grogu content if you subscribe. All right, we got to roll.
All right.
All right,
We gonna do the outro. Like,
let's do it.
are we gonna act like we haven't been doing this for? Okay.
Thank you
Same
for
bad
watching.
time.
The Bashy, that's you.
Like and subscribe.
Same
Oh
bad time. What?
my!
Stay back channel.
I want my money back.